Hi guys, it's Adria. Welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about anxiety. Oh my god. I can't gather words. Yesterday, I had a bad anxiety attack. I think I need to talk about it while it's fresh in my mind, because otherwise you can forget about things. Yeah, I mean, people ask me to talk about anxiety all the time, but it's like, sometimes when it's been a little while since you've had a really bad anxiety attack, it's almost like my brain almost doesn't even let me go back to it sometimes. I think especially now as an adult, when I reflect a lot about things that I did and how I felt as a kid, I'm like, that's anxiety, that's what that was. That's why I picked my fingernails till they bled. That's why I was constantly fidgeting with things at school, even to the point of like getting yelled at by teachers, because like I can't let myself relax in high stress situations and when I'm going through that anxious mode. It's hard to even phrase that. So yesterday, I mean, it was a pretty normal day. I found a video online of this guy not being so nice to me. It was just kind of like, And Brandon's like, don't watch that. You know, I turn it off. I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna go back and even watch that. Then we're gonna go to the gym. I was feeling kind of weird about watching the video, but I was like, whatever. And then our neighbor came outside, and she just started talking to us. I didn't really even know what to do, so I kind of just kept walking to the car. I sat in the car for 2 seconds and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's still talking to her. So I got out and I went back and it was weird. She was really kind of just trying to be nosy and like asking if we needed anything, and Brandon's like, no. And she tried asking like what he does for work. Yeah, no, none of your business. But and I'm like, I'm so sorry that I walked away. That was my knee-jerk reaction. I don't know, I probably should have just stood there. I don't think either of these two things are even what caused the anxiety attack, because I think when you're going through anything mental health related, people are like, well, what's wrong? Well, why do you, and there isn't always a why. I think I'm just going through the day's events of what led up to that. So then we're at the gym. Normally I feel so much better at the gym and like that's where I can clear my head, but I'm on this elliptical and I couldn't even go at my normal pace because I could hardly even breathe, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm trying to just go through the motions of being a normal person right now. I'm trying to just do my gym routine and just feel better, because working out does make me mentally feel better. I was so frustrated with myself that like I couldn't even go as fast as I would normally go on this machine because my chest felt so tight and I couldn't really get my breath, and I just felt very much like in a little bubble. It's hard to really describe. It's like everyone's faces are blurred and it's almost like I don't understand what anybody's saying, and I have to really focus in to hear and listen to what somebody's saying to me. And like I realize now that that's why school was so hard. I couldn't even focus enough to like be in a school mode, you know? It was like I'm just trying to like not freak out right now. You're not really that self-aware as a kid and a teenager of like, I'm having an anxiety attack. I didn't even have a word for that when I was a kid, and I think so often I try to just be normal when I feel that way. I try to just go through my normal routine, and I think if I just put myself in the spot, you know, that I'll be okay. But like even Brandon could tell that I was not okay because he reached over to tap me and like my hand pulled away like so fast. I don't normally do that. I don't even know why I'm crying, because I didn't even cry in this moment. I wasn't sad or upset. It was just my brain, like, can't brain sometimes. One of my short-term goals is to find a therapist. I think that that would be really beneficial for me, helping me gather tools to help myself, because yeah, it's so weird that I did not even expect to cry talking about this, because I didn't even cry yesterday when all this was happening, but oh dear Lord. And I can't find my beauty blender today, and that's also like a problem. It's always been sort of frustrating to me sharing that, you know, like I'm not doing very good mentally in the moment. And it's sort of like, well, what's wrong? I'm what's wrong. My brain is what's wrong. Like there's nothing in the world that is what's wrong. Even about like my neighbor's story time, people being like, well, like, you know, people are always gonna be like that. I know that. I can't control the outside world. I want to be able to cope in whatever life throws at me. And you know, it's so frustrating to hear like, oh, you think you have problems. And it's like, no, I don't think I have problems. I think my brain has a problem. It's frustrating when all other aspects of your life are decent. Why is my brain not happy? You know, like, and I've had trouble sleeping the past few nights. It's not even really like me. I've always been one of those people, I can just get into bed at night and be done and go to sleep. So when I have trouble sleeping, I'm like, just a little bit concerned. But you know, I went to the doctor not too long ago. I was very honest about my mental health, and you don't always feel so open to be like, hey, I've felt depressed. I haven't felt myself. She was like, well, maybe your medication isn't right for you then. Shouldn't, what? So she didn't change it. She was just like, oh, maybe it's not for you then. And then, you know, sent me right out the door. And oh, what if she gave me something that isn't even meant for me? Which is why I wanted to find a psychiatrist. For me, I've never disliked the fact that I've had to take medication. To me, it's like, if you need something, then that's what you have to do. It's not a weakness. If you need something, then that's what you need, period. So then it was like a week, few days later, I don't know, one night I was just feeling sort of weird. You know, I really kind of need a direction. Like, I don't know where I'm going in life. And I'm like, hey, God, can you just like give me a sign or something of what I should do? Then in my dream, the only thing I remember from my dream was, I don't know if it was me or another person, I don't know who it was that said this, but there was a voice that was like, when I got off my medication, I could start living. So it was weird for me that that was the only thing that I remembered from my dream. And I found it weird that that was the night I asked for some sort of sign of, I need a change in my life, what do I do? Some people might write that off as like a coincidence, whatever. And even I was sort of like, if I had never prayed that, would I have still had that same dream, you know? Like, but it's weird. I don't know. You know, sometimes I don't really believe in coincidence. Sometimes it just kind of feels like things happen when they need to. I'm literally just using my Don't Be a Sad Panda hoodie as a tissue. Then it was like, you know what? I don't think that the medication I'm on is really helping me. And if it did at a point, it's not anymore. I know you're not supposed to like play around with medication and things like that. I just went back to the dose that I had started with, and for a few days, it was almost like this veil was sort of lifted off of me. I don't know, I just felt more aware and more connected to the world. You know, a lot of people talk about feeling foggy on medication or like a zombie or things like that. I never really felt like a zombie, but I kind of just felt a disconnect. The world was on the other side of a glass door for me. Like, I could still see everything and everything was still clear, but it was almost like I couldn't touch it. And it was kind of nice for that door to open for a little bit, you know? Yeah. Oh, it's so corny. Why did I even say that? Oh Lord. But then I was so stubborn, and I'm like, I don't even want to take my medication now. Like, whatever. You know, I equated this good feeling to less medication. So I'm like, well, the less and less I take of it, the better I'll feel, right? And, you know, then I had my anxiety attack yesterday, and I'm like, you know, I can't do it alone then. I've told myself since I've began taking medication, it's not bad. I'm not weak. I'm not weird, dependent. I'm not, you know, I'm not any of these things. I shouldn't have done it the way I did, but, you know, I'm back on it now. And I think the anxiety attack yesterday, it makes me sad because it made me realize that, like, damn, this is how I used to feel every day of my life. I don't know how I did it. Because I didn't start taking medication for anxiety until I was, I think, 17. And I don't know how I did it to that point. Besides that was all I ever knew. And I guess I just became used to it. I guess I thought everybody felt that way. You know, because when something's all you know, it's normal. Ugh, let me fix myself. And I literally don't want sympathy or like anything. I think sometimes I just want to just talk. Bottling it up does not help. I will tell you that from experience. It does not help. So we left the gym because Brandon could clearly tell I was not okay. I like wasn't looking him in the eyes or anything and just being very short with my answers, and went grocery shopping. And I think walking around the grocery store and just doing something else helped. Like a quick change of environment when you're feeling upset or anxious, it can be helpful, at least for me anyway. I'm trying though. I think it's important to just not give up on yourself and don't let yourself fall into a rut, because I think when I fall into a rut, I'm my own worst enemy. When I get into a good rut, like a good productive rut, I'm unstoppable, and you know, nothing will stop me from doing everything that I want. But then like I get into bad ruts of not doing anything and being stuck in life and needing to do things for my health, appointments and things like that, and I don't take care of myself. I don't take care of my life or anything. And I think being self-aware of those things is good, because I think before I didn't even realize what my issue was. Now I know that I'm the only one holding me back. I've always been so like, I'm not gonna do anything till I'm ready to. You know, for me, feeling pressured or forced into new situations is like the worst thing ever. But unfortunately, being an adult, you don't even really get a choice in that. You just sort of have to do it. For me, driving has always been sort of off and on. Oh, some days it doesn't scare me, other days it's the scariest thing in the world, and I don't know how something can be like that at times, but it is. Talking to people is like overwhelming at times. And then I have issues like in my personal life that I've never even talked about because I feel like I'm not even allowed to, and I kind of just want to email Dr. Phil about some family situations that I don't even know where to put in my heart and in my brain. Facing rejection and ridicule and judgment as a child is something that just doesn't digest very well. Kids are supposed to feel important and accepted, heard, and like you want to hear what they have to say, but to me it was, you know, a very strained way to exist as a kid. That's why when I get comments like that I don't have depression or anxiety, I'm like I wish, I so wish. You know, this wasn't something I chose. It's not a choice, it's not trendy to me, it's not fun, it's not exciting, it's not a personality trait, it's not everything there is about me. It's something that I deal with and I don't like it. And I'm just gonna keep doing everything in my power to work toward getting through it and making it easier to deal with. You know, being an adult definitely helps, because as a kid it's so confusing, you know, like why am I afraid of everything? Why am I afraid of everybody? It's definitely gotten easier growing up and, you know, going through life more. It's definitely better now than it was back when I was a kid. Even planning my wedding, I realized how little people I really have in my life. It's not really about how many people there are, but you'd still like to think that there would be people that would want to be there that aren't and wouldn't be. It still kind of screws with you a bit. This list could have been double this size, but life, I can't snap because I have nails on. You know, I have to tell myself that there are things that were out of my control and there are things that aren't my fault. I can't change and I can't dwell on the fact that they happened, but I can work toward a better future for myself, a future that would baffle childhood me. I think I just want to be proud of myself. That's the big goal. It's not, you know, I don't want to have all the money, or I don't want to have like this white picket fence dream. I don't even need any of that, but I just want to feel proud of my own sense of self, I guess. I don't even know if any of this made sense. I really didn't even want to cry in this. Holy crap, I thought I was just gonna have a chat about anxiety and what a weird thing it is and how unpredictable it is. A little conversation, but I didn't want it to involve all the tears, because sometimes I feel like, you know, crying videos can make people be like, ugh, really. I really just need to work and not hold back and not feel sorry for myself. I do go through bits where I feel sorry for myself. I don't know what to do and I'm stuck, and like I need to just say like F that and just do something about it and not complain unless I'm willing to change it. There is the conclusion, I guess. I was gonna say tea, but I'm like, oh Lord, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, I also make jokes to cope with mental health. Humor has gotten me through a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go email Dr. Phil. I'm gonna go bake a cake. That beats sitting around and crying. I will talk to you guys again real soon. I'm trying to post more and just even be more productive in YouTube. That is comforting to me and productive for me to film and edit and post, respond to comments, and just, you know, be involved with you guys. So, and just try to keep the comments as positive as possible, because, you know, videos like this, you don't really need the negativity. And if you feel negatively about this video, then just don't comment. I'm gonna go bake a cake. I love you guys. I will see you again real soon. Panda hugs. I already said I love you guys, but I'll say it again because I love you guys. Goodbye.